Welcome to the Power of the Tribe. Welcome home 2020. Today, my guest, one word would describe her: resilient. At 26, her first love, high school sweetheart, and husband passed away from melanoma. Following a difficult and trying divorce, it proved to be a catalyst for her own personal expansion. Loss can cause you doubt. Am I worthy? Am I capable? Can I really start over? Can I have what life in my heart, even though my heart has been broken? Using mindfulness and neuroscience principles, she works to get you from stuck to thriving. I am very, very honored to have Erika Austin here today. And welcome, Dr. Austin, but I have the pleasure of calling you friend and Erika. Good morning.
Good morning, Maureen. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction and for letting me be a part of your summit. I'm really excited about it.
Okay, good. So let's get into this. So the whole summit is based on inspirational leaders, and obviously that is the reason that you're here and the difference that you're making in the world. So what is your secret to living life to the fullest?
Yeah, currently, like you were saying, I think I've been through some times that really have gotten me to a place of reflecting about what really matters. And for me, that's really family, friends, and working from a place of passion and serving. And so for me, I've really built in certain rituals, I would say, that help me live my life to the fullest. So I have like a morning ritual that includes working out, meditation, journaling, just time for myself, which really is another big part of my ritual is self-care. Like I've really found that once I take care of myself fully, then I'm able to show up for my family, for my clients, for the people around me. So it's been a process of my not doing that and then my doing that and seeing what a huge difference that's really been, that now it's just vital to my everyday because it allows me to show up for myself and for everyone around me. So that's a huge central part of what I do every day. And I love it. So it really, I think that love that I do every morning. So I love it. And then I just feel like I'm going out into my world with so much love to give.
Okay. So let me see if there a shift at one time where there was not a focus on you and that the self-love was not there, or you were left empty and that created this shift?
Yeah, definitely. Like you were saying, Maureen, I lost my husband pretty young. So we were 26. He died of melanoma. And when I reflect back on my life prior to that incident, I was in graduate school when that happened. And so I think my life prior to that, I was very goal driven and it was all kind of about like external. I never really reflected on myself truthfully and how I was showing up in various things. Like I was just like I was doing, but not ever really being. And then I think after his death and going through my own grieving and, that whole grief process, it forces you to see so much. And it allowed me to see that I could really get through that process by showing up for myself. And that meant showing up for my emotions, showing up for my grief, showing up for all of it. And I think it was in that process that I realized how pivotal that was for me to then move on with wherever life took me. And I think that's just been something that has stayed with me and has allowed me, one, to connect to myself, connect, to my husband that's no longer here, my former husband. And then that's allowed me to just show up for different people in different ways. But yeah, I would say that was definitely a pivot point of reflecting on my own life through that process.
Okay. So this being that you are now standing in your leadership as an inspirational leader, what is your message for the world?
Oh, that's such a beautiful question. If I were to pick a message, I would say to connect with yourself. Because I see so often that people look outside of themselves for the solution, the answer, the end all be all. And let me kind of dovetail that, because it is important to have mentorship or coaching or people that can guide you, or maybe like see your blind spots that you're not seeing. But ultimately, I think when it comes to anywhere from small to major decisions in life, we have the answers. And I think sometimes that's been drowned out. Like our internal answers have been drowned out by maybe like family messages, school messages, media, external. So I would say just to connect with yourself, as much as you can, because I think that really aligns you with your purpose, your mission, what you're supposed to be doing on this planet at this time.
Okay. So speaking of mentors, who have been your mentors, and what role did mentors, I know, coaching play in your life?
Oh yeah, another good question. When I look back, definitely my own mom has been a big mentor. She was a single mom, and she always just seeing her own resiliency and her own work ethic, really instilled that in me, that despite what life kind of throws at you or whatever comes up, that you'll get through it, you'll figure it out, and you'll be okay. So I think that was an important foundation I've always had. Other mentors, I've had the honor to work with different people as I've, grown my own coaching business and move forward, anywhere from like big names from Tony Robbins, and then even people that you don't necessarily connect with on a daily basis like that. But I would say Oprah is definitely, just her integrity and the way she carries herself in the world, is somebody else I look up to. So I've had coaches that I've actually worked with, and then people that I think I just, listen to or fill myself with through podcasts or books or audiobooks and messages that have inspired me as well.
I love that. So would you consider yourself a lifelong learner?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, that's one of my biggest passions. I feel like I'm always learning, growing. I love learning. I love learning about personal development and just how we can really live our best lives. So I feel like I'm always learning in that field, and it's constant, right? Because there's so much that we can constantly learn. So definitely.
So let's do a little bit. The new year's coming. It's going to be a new year and a new decade. So we get to briefly look back before we then shift to look forward.
Sure.
So if you were to say what was your biggest mistake and what you learned from it, what would that be?
From this past decade?
There's no conditions on it. Yeah, for your life.
Yeah. I would say one of the lessons that I learned was through my own grief journey. So after the loss of my husband, I really ran away from that pain, like as in any way that I could, honestly. Like I left the country. So like physically, I went to Costa Rica for a while. I ran from my emotions. I ran from all of it. And I ran into another relationship when I wasn't really ready. I wasn't healed. I wasn't whole. I had so much of my own work to do. And through that, that's when I got married and got divorced. I just learned that you can't really start anything, whether it's a business or a relationship or something new, unless you are whole. And so I would say that was one of my biggest lessons. I don't regret it because I learned so much from it, but it was definitely a situation that I learned so much about my own wholeness and how important that is.
I really admire your authenticity and your vulnerability. And that is definitely something that with your vulnerability, you have shifted that to empower others. And that's really, really admirable and beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. That's my hope, that it does inspire other people. I work a lot with women that are going through divorce or have lost a loved one. And so I just hope that my story can empower them in some way to reconnect with themselves and know that for some reason that situation is helping to empower them.
Okay, so What's in store for 2020? As I said before, we're on to a new decade. I mean, how exciting is that?
Yeah, so exciting. I'm so excited about the decade. I feel like last decade there was a lot of clearing, and this decade there's just going to be so much growth and opportunity for people. And for me in particular, I have a lot of partnerships that I'm really excited about with different companies that I'm working with. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm going to be sharing a video series called Unleash Your Inner Power. And that's going to be coming out early in the year. So I'm really excited. It's in the final stages of just compiling it all. All the videos have been shot. So I'm really excited to be able to share that with people.
Okay, good. So any way that we might be able to get a tidbit or a sneak peek?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So it's broken up into basically two chapters, so to speak. So the first part is really about focusing on your relationship with yourself. And then the second part, and there'll be about 3 or 4 videos about that. And then the second part, same thing, about 3 and 4 videos about then your relationship with others and how you show up in the world so that you can create the life that you want. So it's broken up into those 2 series, and each video is kind of short and has really quick things that you can apply directly to your life at that point after you watch it. So it's very practical and doable, and really meant to just get people, as the new year's unrolling, to really create the life that they envision for themselves this upcoming year and this upcoming decade.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so question we always ask.
Mm-hmm.
When's the book coming out?
Yeah, and I know you and I have talked about that informally. Yes, I definitely have a book in me. That's one of my dreams. I love writing, and I've edited professionally in the past as well. So it's something that's definitely there. I know that the time. I know I'll know when the time is right, and I feel like I have some other projects before then, but definitely in this decade for sure.
Okay, good. And being that I have the good, I wouldn't say luck, but opportunity to be neighbors. So we'll continue talking about this over coffee and Starbucks.
Definitely, absolutely.
So this is a really special time for the guest I'm recording. This is actually December 23rd,
Mm-hmm.
and the holidays are coming. And anything special that you do that just makes your holiday special?
Honestly, it's just family. I mean, as I was sharing before, I've come every year to just know that more and more, that that's really what it's about the people that you connect with and being present and letting everything else go when you're in those moments. I know that I love my work, and so it can definitely consume me, and I recognize that about myself. So when I'm with them, to really be able to put that aside and focus on whoever I'm with, whoever I'm having a conversation with. And that's my goal every holiday when I'm with family as they're flying in from all, different places, to really just connect with them and allow things to unfold in that conversation.
And I'm going to leave it that, because you had mentioned this before, that your shift was from doing to being.
Yeah.
And that energy shift and focus changes everything. Can you just leave us with a little bit elaborating on that? And then we absolutely want to wish you happy holidays.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. I think, like I was sharing before, I was a doer and can still fall back to that for sure. I definitely have to watch myself because it's a pattern I have. So doing, I think I equated doing with being productive, success, on a path of doing something. And I would get on that wheel of just doing, and then having a conversation, but having, a million other thoughts in my mind and not really being fully present. And once I started practicing more mindfulness in my own life and being more aware of my thoughts, I can now watch those thoughts go and really just be and really bring it back to this moment. And a big part of what helps me do that is just checking in with my senses. Like, what am I seeing? What am I, trying, what touching, feeling, just bringing it back to this moment so that those thoughts can just go and not dominate and not take over. And I would say it's really a practice because it's not always that easy. As we know, we all have monkey minds in especially around the holidays, our brains are racing in a million directions. And so to really take a deep breath and be present takes a little bit of practice, but it's definitely worth it.
Thank you for sharing that, because that's a huge takeaway. And to be able to give that as a gift to our audience, and that if that's the one thing they can shift, then so much more falls into place. So we're grateful you were here today.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here so much, Maureen. I really appreciate it.
Good. So be safe. Happy holidays. Go be. And I'm so looking forward to continuing our friendship and alliance. And thank you. See you soon.
Likewise. Thank you so much.